Hare Krishna. Welcome all the devotees to Chaitanya Charitamrita session today, 19th of January 2024. We are reading from Hare Krishna. You all can hear me? Is my voice clear? Hare Krishna.
Mataji, voice is clear, but it is very low. Very low.
Okay. Hare Krishna. Is it better now?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. So we'll start with Chaitanya Charitamrita. We'll continue from chapter 20 of Madhya Lila. Shloka number 331. Let me share the screen. So devotees can read one by one and we can discuss wherever there are some important points. You can raise your hands so that I can call out your names. Text 331. Yes, Rajya Lakshmi Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Asan varnastrayo hi asya grihanto nu yugham tana shuklo raktas tatha pita idanim krishnatham gataha. Translation: This child formerly had three colors according to the prescribed color for different millenniums. Formerly, he was white, red, and yellow. Now he has assumed a blackish color.
Yes. So this is the section where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is explaining to Srila Sanatana Goswami about the Yugavataras. And he is continuing to explain how the Lord is called Triyugi because he appears in three yugas as Leelavataras. So the three Leelavataras three Yugavataras are in Satyuga, white color, in Treta Yuga, red color, and in Dwapar Yuga, he is blackish color, and in Kali Yuga, he is yellow in color. So now he will explain in detail which are the forms and their descriptions. So in the purport, Srila Prabhupada says that this verse is from Srimad Bhagavatam 10.8.13, which was spoken by Garga Muni when he was performing the name-giving ceremony of Krishna and Balram at the house of Nanda Maharaj. So the following two verses are also from Srimad Bhagavatam 11.5.21 and 24. So let us go to text 332. Sudha Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Pranam. कृते शुक्लश्चतुर्बाहुर् जटिलो वल्कलाम्बरः कृष्णार्जुनो पविताक्षान् बिभ्रदण्ड कमण्डहि. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. In Satya Yuga, the Lord appeared in a body colored white with 4 arms and matted hair. He wore tree bark and wore a black antelope skin. He wore a sacred thread and a garland of Rudraksha beads. He carried a rod and a water pot, and he was a brahmachari. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. So, which incarnation is this? Can somebody guess? The Lord appeared in Satya Yuga in body colored white with 4 arms, matted hair. He wore a tree bark and wore a black antelope skin. He wore a sacred thread of a brahmana and garland of Rudraksha beads, and he carried a rod and a water pot, and he was a brahmachari.
Maybe Vamana, Mataji.
Yes, Vaman Dev. So in Satya Yuga, he appears as Vaman Dev. Very good. Text 333. Sindhu Mataji.
Hare Krishna, pranams Mataji. त्रेतायं रक्तवर्णोऽसौ चतुर्बाहुस्त्रिमेकलः हिरण्यकेशस्त्रय आत्मा शुक्षुबादि उपलक्षणः. Translation is Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai. In Treta Yuga, the Lord appeared in a body that had a reddish hue and forearms. There were 3 distinctive lines on his abdomen and his hair was golden. His form manifested the Vedic knowledge and he bore the symbols of a sacrificial spoon, ladle and so on. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. So this is also a very familiar form. Does anyone identify? You can share.
Sri Ramachandra.
Huh?
Sri Ramachandra.
Treta Yuga.
Treta Yuga, but he was not, Lord Ramachandra was green in color. Durva grass was his bodily hue. But this is Rakta, reddish color. So which form appears in the reddish form with 4 arms?
Narasimha Bhagavan.
Narasimha.
No. Narasimha Bhagavan appeared in Satya Yuga. He manifested the Vedic knowledge, his form. He bore symbols of
Hagriva.
no.
Varaha.
Yes, Varahadev. Rakta Varaha.
Vara.
There
Yes,
are
Varaha.
2 kinds of Varahadev, 2 forms of Varahadev. That is, one is Rakta Varaha and second is Shweta Varaha. So this is particularly talking about Rakta Varaha, which is
Hare
reddish.
Krishna Mataji. They say
Yes.
one more is there, blue Varaha.
Yes, Neela Varaha.
Neela Varaha.
Neela Varaha and Rakta Varaha is same.
Yes, okay, Mataji.
Yeah.
Oh.
Thank you. So text 334. So in Satya Yuga, he appeared as Vamanadev in white color, and Treta Yuga, he appeared as Lord Varahadev in reddish color, Raktavara. Now let us see further. Text 334, Krishnamurti, Prabhu.
हरे कृष्ण माताजी. सत्ययुगे धर्म ध्यान करय शुक्ल मूर्ति धारी कर्दम के वर दिला येन हो कृपाकारी. Translation by A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Prabhupada ki jai. As the white incarnation, the Lord taught religion and meditation. He offered benedictions to Kardama Muni, and in this way he showed his causeless mercy. Shall I read purport, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji, please read.
Purport by Bhakti Vedanta Prabhupada ki jai. Kardama Muni was one of the Prajapatis. He married Devahuti, the daughter of Manu, and their son was Kapila Deva. The Supreme Lord was very pleased with Kardama Muni's austerities, and he appeared before Kardama Muni in a whitish body. This happened in the Satya Yuga millennium, when people were accustomed to practicing meditation. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. Yes, Shobha Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam Mataji. Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
335. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Krishna dhyana kare loka jnana adhikari Treta dharma yajna karaya rakta varna dhari. Translation by A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. In Satya Yuga, the people were generally advanced in spiritual knowledge and could meditate upon Krishna very easily. The people's occupational duty in Treta Yuga was to perform great sacrifices. This was induced by the personality of Godhead in his reddish incarnation. Haribol Sankar.
Hare Krishna. So as Yugavatar, the Lord appears to propagate the Yuga Dharma, correct? So in Satya Yuga, it will come further. The next 2-3 shlokas, we will see every Yuga, the Lord's Lila is to propagate the Yuga Dharma. So in Satya Yuga, the process of meditation was given by the Lord. Then in Treta Yuga, the process of yajna, performing sacrifices. That is why Varahadev his body, if we see, the kusha grass comes from his body. Every limb of his body represents sacrificial instrument. Like we saw that he appeared in the form which was holding, what was that? We read, right? He carried the symbols of a sacrificial spoon, ladle, and so on. And also the hairs from his body is used for yagya. Kusha grass is a must for the yagya performance. So this is how Lord Varahadev propagated the sacrifice as the Yugadharma, Raktavara. Then 336. Let us read in Dwapar Yuga. Yes, somebody would like to read? Raja Lakshmi Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes.
Krishna padarchane dvapareena dharma Krishna varne karaye loka Krishnarchana karma. Translation: in Dwapara Yuga, the people's occupational duty was to worship the lotus feet of Krishna. Therefore, Lord Krishna, appearing in a blackish body, personally included people to worship him. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Is my voice better now? Is it clear?
Oh, now it's much better, Mataji. Thank you so much.
Okay, Hare Krishna. So yes, in Dwapar Yuga, the people's occupational duty was to worship the lotus feet of Krishna. Therefore, Lord Krishna, appearing in a blackish body, personally induced people to worship him. Right? So in Dwapar Yuga, Krishna appears. And 337 describes the form of Lord Krishna. Let us read. Sudha Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji Pranam. Dwapare Bhagavan Shyama Pitavasa Nijayudaha Srivatsadhivir Atikaischa Lakshanai Upalakshitaha. Translation by Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. In Dwapara Yuga, the personality of Godhead appears in a blackish hue. He is dressed in yellow. He holds his own weapons and he is decorated with the Kaustuba jewel and the mark of Srivatsa. That is how his symptoms are described.
Yes, Jai.
Thank
So
you.
in the scriptures, the form of the Lord, the incarnation is in detail described so that people do not get confused and no one accepts anyone as the incarnation of the Lord. So every yuga, the Yuga avatar and the Lila avatar are described. So this is a quotation from Srimad Bhagavatam 11.5.27. And the Shama color is not exactly blackish. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur compares it to the color of the Atasi flower. It is not that Lord Krishna himself appears in a black color in all the Dwapar Yugas. In other Dwapar Yugas, previous to Lord Krishna's appearance, the Supreme Lord appeared in a greenish body by his own personal expansion. And this is mentioned in the Vishnu Purana, Hari Vamsha, and Mahabharata. So it's not that Krishna has to appear in blackish form. In other yugas, other Dwapar yugas, he appears in different colors also. But this Krishna, the original Sham Sundar Krishna of Golok Vrindavan, appears in Shama Varna. Text 338. Uma Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes, sir.
Namaste, Namaste Vasudevaya, Namasankarshanaaya cha, Pradyumnaya Aniruddhaya, Tubhyam Bhagavate Namaha. Translation by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, expanded as Vasudeva, Sankarshana, Pradyumna, and Aniruddha. Shall I purport or something?
Yes, Mataji, please.
Purport. This is a prayer from Srimad Bhagavatam 11.5.29, spoken by Karavanjana Muni when he was questioned by Maharaja Nimi, the king of Videha, about the incarnations in specific yugas and their method of worship. Karavanjana Muni was one of the 9 Yogendras and he met the king to inform him about future incarnations. Hare Krishna.
Yes. So this will be, this is explained in the 11th canto by Karabhajan Muni when he was questioned by Maharaj Nemi, the king of Videha, about the incarnations in specific yugas and their method of worship. So Karabhajan Muni is one of the 9 Yogendras and he met the king to inform about future incarnations. So this verse comes from there, that he is offering respectful obeisances to the Chatur Vyuhas, the Vasudev, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, Aniruddha, who are responsible for further Purusha incarnation, that is Vasudev gives rise to Narayana, and then from Narayana comes Karanodakshai Vishnu, from Karanodakshai Vishnu comes Garbhodakashai Vishnu, from Garbhodakashai Vishnu comes Kshirodakashai Vishnu, and from him all the other Lila Avtaras and the Yuga Avtaras, they expand within that particular universe. That is why this reference is given by Srila Prabhupada. Text 339. Yes, somebody would like to read?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
ये मंत्रे द्वापरे करे कृष्णार्चना कृष्ण नाम संकीर्तन कलियुगेर धर्म.
Yes.
Scroll Mataji.
Yes.
Translation पे ऐसे Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada के दे. By this mantra, the people worship Lord Krishna in Dwapara Yuga. In Kali Yuga, the occupational duty of the people is to chant congregationally the holy name of Krishna. Hare Krishna Mataji. Shall I read purport Mataji?
Yes, Prabhu, please.
Purport by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada के दे. कलेर दोषा निधे राजन अस्ति ऐको महान गुणः कीर्तानंद एव कृष्णस्य मुक्त बंधः परम व्रजेत. My dear king, although Kali Yuga is full of faults, there is still one good quality about this age. It is that simply by chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, one can become free from material bondage and be promoted to the transcendental kingdom. Thus, in Kali Yuga, one worships Lord Krishna by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. To propagate this moment, Lord Krishna personally appeared as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that is described in the following verse. Mataji, little bit scroll.
Yeah, that's it, Prabhu.
Okay, thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. So this is the shloka from Srimad Bhagavatam, 12th canto, 3rd chapter, 51st shloka, where Srila Shukadev Goswami is telling Parikshit Maharaj, "Oh my dear king, although this Kali Yuga is full of faults, there is still one good quality about this age, that simply by chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, one can become free from material bondage and be promoted to the transcendental kingdom." So that is a greatest benediction for Kali Yuga, although it is full of faults. 340, Lalita Vinodini Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare
पीताभरण धारित बे कैला प्रवर्तना प्रेम भक्ति दीला लोके लाया भक्त गणा. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai. In the age of Kali, Lord Krishna assumes a golden color and accompanied by his personal devotees, introduces Harinama Sankirtana, the chanting of Hare Krishna mantra. By this process, he delivers love for Krishna to the general populace. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. So this is also another reference to how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the Yuga Avatar for Kali Yuga. This is also one reference. Yes.
We continue?
Yes, Mataji. You can.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. धर्म प्रवर्तन करे ब्रजेंद्र नंदन प्रेमी गायना नाचे लोक करे संकीर्तन. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Lord Krishna, the son of Nanda Maharaja, personally introduces the occupational duty of the age of Kali. He personally chants and dances in ecstatic love, and thus the entire world chants congregationally. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Text 342, Uma Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Krishna Varnam Trisha Krishnam Sangopanga Sapashadam Yajne Sankirtana Praye Yajanti Sumedasaha. Translation by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. In the age of Kali, intelligent persons perform congregational chanting to worship the incarnation of Godhead, who constantly sings the name of Krishna. Although his complexion is not blackish, he is Krishna himself. He is accompanied by his associates, servants, weapons, and confidential companions. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Krishna, thank you, Mataji. This is the beautiful verse quoted in the Srimad Bhagavatam, and this is also one great reference as to the incarnation of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as the Yugavatar for Kali Yuga. So I would like to read from this verse, the purport, Srimad Bhagavatam 11.5.32, wherein Srila Prabhupada explains how the Lord appears in Kali Yuga. Is everyone able to see the screen?
Yes.
Yes. Krishna Varnam Krishna Krishnam, Srimad
Yes.
Bhagavatam. Yeah. So Srila Prabhupada explains in the purport that this same verse is quoted just now what we read by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Lila, chapter 3, verse 52. That also we will read later. And where Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada has given the following commentary on this verse. This text, why this purport is mentioning name of Prabhupada? Because we should know that the 11th canto and the 12th canto is translated by his disciples, right? After his disappearance. So they are quoting the translation from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Lila, chapter 3 and verse 52, which was translated by Srila Prabhupada. So they are taking the explanation for this purport from there. This text is this text is from Srimad Bhagavatam 11.5.32, and Srila Jiva Goswami has explained this verse in his commentary on the Bhagavatam, known as the Krama Sandarbha, wherein he says that Lord Krishna also appears with a golden complexion. So that golden Lord Krishna is Lord Chaitanya, who is worshipped by intelligent men in this age. This is confirmed in Srimad Bhagavatam by Gargamuni, because if you remember, Gargamuni explained 4 colors, right? He said that the child Krishna is blackish, and he also appears in 3 other colors, that is red, white, and yellow. So he exhibited his white and red complexions in the Satya Yuga and Treta Yuga respectively. But he did not exhibit the remaining color, that is yellow, gold, until he appeared as Lord Chaitanya, who is known as Gaurahari. So Srila Jiva Goswami explains that Krishna Varnam means Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Krishna Varnam and Krishna Chaitanya are equivalent. The name Krishna appears with both Lord Krishna and Lord Chaitanya Krishna. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but he always engages in describing Krishna and thus enjoying transcendental bliss by chanting and remembering his name and form. So Lord Krishna appears as Lord Chaitanya to preach the highest gospel. Varnayati means utters or describes. So Lord Chaitanya always chants the holy name of Krishna and describes it also. And because he is Krishna himself, whoever meets him will automatically chant the holy name of Krishna and later describe it to others. We see in the pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that whoever he distributed the knowledge to, they also would go further and distribute it to others. And this way, the Lord empowers everyone to chant the holy name and to distribute it. So he injects one with transcendental Krishna consciousness which merges the chanter in transcendental bliss. In all respects, therefore, he appears before everyone as Krishna, either by personality or by sound. Simply by seeing Lord Chaitanya, one at once remembers Lord Krishna. One may therefore accept him as Vishnu Tattva. In other words, Lord Chaitanya is Lord Krishna himself. So this quality of Krishna Varnam means Lord Chaitanya is Krishna himself. And we should know that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu not only empowered when he was present on the earth, but even today, he keeps on empowering those who follow him, who chant the holy name, the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And we should know that this potency of being able to preach to others, to tell them about Krishna, and somebody becomes a devotee is not our power. It is the power of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu who is coming down in the parampara through Srila Prabhupada. So we should know this, and we should always be in the humble servant attitude, service attitude. Thus, when Krishna Varnam was described, the later on Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami explains, and Srila Prabhupada gives in the purport, what is this Sango Pangastra Parshadam? Because each yuga, the Lord's form is described. But this particular form of Lord Chaitanya is so special because he is not coming to kill anyone. But what are his astras? What are his weapons? His own associates. It is described, his body is always decorated with ornaments of sandalwood and with sandalwood paste. By his super excellent beauty, he subdues all the people of the age. In other descents, the Lord sometimes used weapons to defeat the demoniac. But in this age, the Lord subdues them with his all attractive figure as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The form itself, somebody is defeated by his form. It is to be understood that all the demigods lived with him as his companions. Sango Pangastra Parshadam. His acts were uncommon and his associates were wonderful. When he propagated the Sankirtan movement, he attracted many great scholars and acharyas, especially in Bengal and Orissa. And Lord Chaitanya is always accompanied by his best associates like Lord Nityananda, Advaita, Gadadhar, and Srivas. Thus, after explaining what is Sango Pangastra Parshadam, Srila Jiva Goswami cites a verse from the Vedic literature that says that there is no necessity of performing sacrificial demonstrations or ceremonial functions. He comments that instead of engaging in such external pompous exhibitions, all people, regardless of caste, color, or creed, can assemble together and chant Hare Krishna to worship Lord Chaitanya. Krishna Varnam Tvisha Akrishnam indicates that prominence should be given to the name Krishna. Lord Chaitanya taught Krishna consciousness and chanted the name of Krishna. Therefore, to worship Lord Chaitanya, everyone should together chant the Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. To propagate worship in churches, temples, or mosques is not possible because people have lost interest in that. But anywhere and everywhere, people can chant Hare Krishna. Thus, worshipping Lord Chaitanya, they can perform the highest activity and fulfill the highest religious purpose of satisfying the Supreme Lord. Hare Krishna. So, as we see, why Prabhupada is writing that this process, propagate worship in churches, temples, and mosques is not possible? Because we should understand at that time when Srila Prabhupada was in the US, so many churches were abandoned. There were no people in the churches. There were only buildings. And Srila Prabhupada, many places, he got the churches and he started temples there. He established deity worship, and before that, he would go he would send his disciples on Nagar Sankirtan, Harinam Sankirtan, and only through propagation of chanting of the holy names and distribution of prasadam, devotees were attracted, people were attracted, they became transformed, their hearts were transformed, and thus the temple worship was going on there. So that is why Srila Prabhupada is mentioning that to worship Lord Chaitanya, people can chant Hare Krishna, and thus worshipping Lord Chaitanya, they can perform the highest activity and fulfill the highest religious purpose of satisfying the Supreme Lord. And we see that how practically Prabhupada showed hippies became happies, and that is the Kali Yuga Yuga Dharma, where people can just chant the holy names and become happy. Srila Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya, a famous disciple of Lord Chaitanya, said that the principle of transcendental devotional service having been lost, Sri Krishna Chaitanya has appeared to deliver again the process of devotion. He is so kind that he is distributing love of Krishna. Everyone should be attracted more and more to his lotus feet, as humming bees are attracted to a lotus flower. And thus, the incarnation of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is also described in the Vishnu Sahasranam, which appears in chapter 189 of the Dan Dharma Parva of Mahabharata. Srila Jiva Goswami has quoted this reference as follows. Suvarna Varna Hemango Varangas Chandanangadi. Those who recite Vishnu Sahasranam, they can remember this verse comes as one of the shlokas of the Vishnu Sahasranam. And what is the meaning of this verse? In his early pastimes as a householder, he appears with a golden complexion, and his limbs are beautiful. His body, smeared with the pulp of sandalwood, seems like molten gold. So, Suvarna Varna Hemango, Varangas Chandanangadi. This is also quoted, Jiva Goswami has also quoted, Sanyasakrit Chama Shanto Nishtha Shanti Parayanaha. In his later pastimes, he accepts the sannyas order and he is equiposed and peaceful. He is the highest abode of peace and devotion, for he silences the impersonalist non-devotees. So this verse in Vishnu Sahasranam also is describing Lord Chaitanya. So these are the reasons how he is accepted as the Yuga Avatar for Kali Yuga, right? And thus, we will also see, is everyone able to see Adi Lila 3.52?
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah. So, here also in the purport, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami describes that this verse is mentioned in the Bhagavatam, Krishna Varnam Tvisha Akrishnam, 11.5.32, and Srila Jiva Goswami has explained this verse in his commentary to Bhagavatam known as Krama Sandarbha. Okay, so the same is described, Krishna Varna, then Sango Pangastra, and the same purport appears here also, which we just now read. Now, coming to our Madhya Lila, as the Lord is explaining about the different Yuga Avtaras to Srila Sanatan Goswami, we can see that he himself is giving the reference. But he is so humble, he is not saying, I am that Supreme Lord, I am that Krishna. But he is simply delivering the Shiksha. Unless the Lord tells, how will the world know, right? Just like many people say, why did Lord Krishna say in the Bhagavad Gita, I am this, I am that, I am the controller, I am the maintainer? Is he proud or is he boasting himself? No. Unless the Lord tells about himself, how will everyone know? Just like if there is any businessman and you ask him, what is your qualification? So he has to tell what is his qualification. Otherwise, how will we know? Similarly, the Lord here explaining the different Yuga avatars and also explaining the Kali Yuga incarnations, which happens to be Lord Krishna, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself. So it is so beautiful, isn't it? Let us see 343. Yes, Sudha Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Sankat Prana.
Thank you.
आराधना युगे ध्यानानिधि ये फल हया कलि युगे कृष्ण नामे से फल पाया. Translation by Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. In the other three yugas, Satya, Treta and Dwapara, people perform different types of spiritual activities. Whatever results they achieve in that way, they can achieve in Kali Yuga simply by chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Haribol, thank you. So this is so important that people in Kali Yuga sometimes they say, just chanting karna hai, bas, that's all. But this is the simple and sublime method for the Kali Yuga, which gives the same result as doing other activities in other yugas, Satya, Treta and Dwapar. Yes, Krishnamurti Prabhu, 344.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
कलेर दोषा निदे राजन आस्ति ही एको महान गुणः कीर्तानंद एव कृष्णस्य मुक्तबन्धः परम व्रजेत. Translation by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada ki Jai. My dear King, although Kali Yuga is full of faults, there is still one good quality about this age. It is that simply by chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, one can become free from material bondage and be promoted to the transcendental kingdom. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji has got the same verse again.
Yes.
Nice. Yes, Jai Ho. So this is the special mercy of Kali Yuga that all of us have, and we should take it very seriously. Simply by chanting, we know many devotees in our Srila Prabhupada's ISKCON movement have left their bodies, but they were also ordinary people before they joined Krishna consciousness. But when they took to this process of chanting Hare Krishna seriously and sincerely, how they have received this blessing and the mercy of the whole parampara and of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, wherein they perfected their life. And we see that they were able to remember Krishna at the time of death. So many devotees were chanting beside them. And that is how this is the greatest benediction. Just by chanting the holy name, one can achieve great perfection and go back home, back to Godhead. So let us take
Hare
this
Krishna
seriously.
Mataji.
Yes, Mataji. Yes, Prabhuji.
Mataji. Just we have entered this Krishna conscious movement very recently, of course. We ourselves got the benefit of this. To what extent we may remember or not, we are not aware of that. But only the thing is, by chanting only name of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, definitely we ourselves feeling the difference what was and then what is now. Really, we are all blessed as well. And then I am thankful to you, speakers, Mataji. You are keeping us always in Krishna conscious.
Hare
I am
Krishna.
grateful to you. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. You are all keeping me in Krishna consciousness, Prabhu. It's helping me to remember Krishna and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we
That
all
is your
help
grace.
each other. This is the
That is
benediction
great.
Prabhupada has given us, that in ISKCON we discuss, we hear about Krishna, we speak about Krishna. So this is a mutual association, right? So it is
Hare
the
Krishna.
greatest blessing. Thank you, Prabhuji,
Thank
for
you, Mataji.
encouraging. Hare Krishna. Yes, we can see ourselves, our difference in our own life. And that is how we develop faith in the process. We see other devotees around and we develop faith in the process and get the more and more mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Yes, Rasarangini Radhika Mataji, 345.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
क्रीते यद्यायतो विष्णुं त्रेतायां यजतो मकैः द्वापरे परिचार्यायां कलो तद्धरिकीर्तनात्. Hare Krishna. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Whatever result was obtained in Satya Yuga by meditating on Vishnu, in Treta Yuga by performing sacrifices, and in Dwapara Yuga by serving the Lord's feet, can be obtained in Kali Yuga by simply chanting the holy name Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Purport by Srila. You want?
Yes,
Mataji, you want?
yes, ma'am.
Hare
Yes,
Krishna. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. The verse is quoted from Srimad Bhagavatam 12.3.52. At the present moment in Kali Yuga, there are many false meditators who concoct some imaginary form and try to meditate upon it. It has become fashionable to meditate, but people know nothing about the object of meditation. It is explained here, Yad Dhyayato Vishnu. One has to meditate upon Lord Vishnu or Lord Krishna. Without referring to the Shastra, so-called meditators aim at impersonal objects. Lord has condemned this in Bhagavad Gita 12.5. Klesho dikataras tesham avyakta shakta chetasam avyakta hi gatir dukkham dehavadbhiravapsyate. For those whose minds are attached to the unmanifested, impersonal feature of the Supreme, advancement is very troublesome. To make progress in the disciple is very difficult for those who are embodied. Not knowing how to meditate, foolish people simply suffer, and there is no benefit derived from the spiritual activities. The same idea expressed in this verse from Srimad Bhagavatam can be found in the following verse from Vishnu Purana, Padma Purana, and Brihat Narayana Purana. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna. So the same point that we discussed before, the incarnation of the Lord should be mentioned in the scriptures. Otherwise, we cannot accept anyone as the incarnation of the Lord and meditate upon him. Whereas other mental speculators or impersonalists who try to become attached to the unmanifest or impersonal form of the Lord, it is very difficult for them to advance. To make progress in that discipline is always difficult for those who are conditioned souls. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Klesho adhikataras tesham avyakta asakta chetasam. But it is very easy for even a child to offer something to the Lord, to the personal form of the Lord in the form of his deity, Archa Vigraha, and become perfect in Bhakti Yoga. So this is how so easy but sublime is the process of Bhakti Yoga, which is mentioned in the Bhagavatam, Vishnu Puran, Padma Puran, and Brihan Naradiya Puran. 346. Uma Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Dhyayan kute yajan ekne tretayam dapare archayan edapnoti tat apnoti kalau sankirtya keshavam. Translation by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki Jai. Whatever is achieved by meditation in Satya Yuga, by the performance of Yajna in Treta Yuga, or by the worship of Krishna's lotus feet in Dwapara Yuga, is also obtained in the age of Kali simply by chanting the glories of Lord Keshava. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Text 347. Sudha Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Pranam. Kalim Shabda Jayanti Arya Gunajnya Sarabhaginah Yatra Sankirtane Naiva Sarvaswartha Abhilavyate. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Those who are advanced and highly qualified and are interested in the essence of life know the good qualities of Kali Yuga. Such people worship the age of Kali because in this age one can advance in spiritual knowledge and attain life's goal simply by chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Purport. This is a quotation from Srimad Bhagavatam 11.5.36 spoken by the great sage Karbhajana Rishi, one of the 9 Yogendras. The sage was informing Maharaja Nimi about the people's duty to worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead according to different processes in different yugas. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. So the glory of chanting Hare Krishna in Kali Yuga is mentioned herein, and the reference is given from Bhagavatam. So this chapter, I think it has 300 and okay. So I think we will take one more verse. We were doing 348, right? 46. I was thinking we can complete this chapter, but I think it will be long. So we'll try to see 348. We have 5 minutes more. We will complete till 350. If anybody has any questions or comments, we can share. Okay. So devotees can please add, because everyone has realizations and it is very important to share. Yes, 348. Somebody would like to read? Shobha Mataji.
Hare
Yes.
Krishna, Danda Pranam Mataji. पूर्ववात्मिकीयभे गुणावत्रघणा असंख्या सांख्यतां नहाय गणना. Translation based Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada ki jai. As said before, when I describe the incarnations of the material modes, guna avataras, one should consider that these incarnations are unlimited and that no one can count them. Haribol, thank you.
Yes, so different incarnations were described, and after describing the Yuga avatars, the Lord is saying that even before I explain the material modes, the Guna avatars, but they are also unlimited. No one can count them. Lalita Vinodini Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. चारि युगावतारे एई तागण चारि युगावतारे एई तागणना शुनि बंगी करी तारे पूछे सनातना. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thus I have given a description of the incarnations of the 4 different yugas. After hearing all this, Sanatana Goswami gave an indirect hint to the Lord. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes, thank you. So after this hearing the Yuga avatars, Sanatan Goswami, let us see what he is saying. It is actually very interesting, but we will continue next week on Wednesday. Anybody would like to ask any question? First, let us read this translation. Sanatan Goswami had been a minister under Nawab Hussain Shah, and he was undoubtedly as intelligent as Brihaspati, the chief priest of the heavenly kingdom. Due to the Lord's unlimited mercy, Sanatan Goswami questioned him without hesitation. So what Sanatan Goswami questions, we will see in the next week. But anybody has any question, any comments, please, you can share. Any realization?
Haribol, thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you so much.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Ki jai.
Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai.
Jai.
Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Maharaj ki jai.
Jai.
Mancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Gurudev ki jai. Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you.
Hare Krishna Mataji.